Hello, pocket knife community, knife lovers, knife enthusiasts, interested viewers. Folder here. I want to talk about this 6 hour, the Hogue, right? Well, actually, no, it's the 6 hour K320 made by Hogue Knives. Um, I believe this is the first iteration of this knife here. I've had this knife for some time. I think it's one of the more well, at the time, it probably wasn't. Today, I think it's one of the more underrated knives out there. And just for reference now, the versions of this knife are just off the charts. Um, by my best count, and this is just one outlet, it might even be more, there's 28 versions of this knife currently. I mean, from, you know, literally drop point with serrated, tanto serrated, PVD black, PVD tan, and stonewash. So you have a lot of versions of this knife, different handles and everything. But I will have to say that I believe it's one of the more underrated knives out there by today's standards. Maybe this version, which I believe is the first version, I would say isn't underrated, but they did improve the knife dramatically. So let's just run through it really quick. This is an 8-inch knife, right? 8 inches, 3.5-inch blade, and the closed length is 4.5 inches. The knife standard comes in 30 CV. I'm sorry, 30V CPM 30V steel. And the one I have here happens to be the drop point version with the PVD coating on the blade. Okay. And the crossbar lock is called the Able lock in this particular version. I will say that this I like the knife a lot. It's completely ambidextrous, and there's a few complaints about it, but I'm not going to diddle daddle in the complaints because that's really not what this video is about. I will say though that the jimping is horrible. So if you mention anything that's horrible, it would definitely be the jimping. The fact, and with all this jimping too, like from the blade all the way back here on the handle, with all that jimping, you think they would have some jimping on here that's decent, and they don't. But I'm gonna also say that so this first version, when I got this knife, one of the complaints that I had, and I think some other people also had, was that the polymer that this is made of tends to be slippery, right? It tends to be very slick, and that's why they added this texturing to the back part of the knife. Okay, and the texturing does help. The knife has a short handle, relatively speaking, for an 8-inch knife, but it has that typical back with the flats that go into your palm. So when you have your finger, it has a French oil, right? It has the French oil here for choking up, right? But when you're using the index on the handle, the palm, depending on how big your hands are, of course, but I guess the average male, the palm, the back of the knife does go into the palm for more torque with puncturing tests. So anyway, to get down to this knife, this was the first version of it. It did have shortcomings, like I said. The balance is off because the polymer handle is very light, and it tended to be a little slippery, and like I said, the jimping is bad. Lo and behold, Hogue comes out with this version, okay? And notice I have both of them because I do like the knife, even though it has its shortcomings. But they come out with a second version, and what they did in this situation, they charge you a little bit more money, but I will say that the knife is definitely upgraded. It is an upgrade over this. It is a dramatic upgrade over this. And how is it upgraded? Well, the handles are aluminum, so this is a polymer, very plastic polymer, and very slippery. They did a coated aluminum handle, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the coating is very grippy. It really is. It just really you know, really offers good feel in hand, and it is confidence inspiring, I must say. Along with that, and 28 versions of this knife, this particular version happens to have the G10 in the handle back here. So it does give you the grip where they use the textured polymer here. They use the G10 here, and that G10 does offer very good traction. And there's a few versions of it, you know, there's a few versions of it. Like I said, there's literally 28 iterations of this knife. Okay, so we're talking about upgrade. Now, I do not have I do not possess the collector series of this knife, but I'll tell you about it really quick. The collector series of this knife is a very upgraded version. So instead of the S30V steel, they give you 20CV steel. Okay, upgrade. And instead of a polymer or aluminum handle, they give you a carbon fiber handle. Okay, and it's really nice. Okay. It's a $300 knife. Do I believe that it's overpriced? A little. I do. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I'm gonna contradict myself. I'm not saying it's not worth it. It's just $300. You know. Yeah, it's really tough when all the other versions are much cheaper. I mean, you can get this knife for well under 200. But I will say that the collector's series is like I said, it's $299. So, and I will say also that the collector's version, they have a different mold. So it's carbon fiber, but it has like waves in the mold. They didn't use textured, and they didn't use G10. It's all just carbon fiber, and there's different patterns and waves. And those patterns and waves help, obviously, for the knife to be grippy. Okay? And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because, BAM! So this is what we have here. This, my friends, is the Knife Center exclusive of this particular knife. And this pattern that you see, okay, so this is aluminum, okay, but this pattern that you see is the same exact pattern in the collector series version, right? But they use carbon fiber. So they have the same pattern, but it's aluminum, and it's got a coating on it, very grippy, okay. The jimping, believe it or not, is a little bit better, which is, but it still sucks, but it's a little better. But it has the pattern, which offers a lot of grip. And lo and behold, instead of 30 S30V and 20CV, they upgraded it with Magna Cut. So they're giving you the same pattern as the collector's item, the collector's version, but with Magna Cut, which is a better steel than 20CV. I mean, 20CV is excellent steel, but Magna Cut's better. But here's where Knife Center really showed their, they showed their shit on this one, guys. Okay, this knife is half the price of the collector's item, the collector's version. I mean, really? Okay, I get it. You can make an argument that aluminum is just as premium as carbon fiber. I mean, in some circles, people look at aluminum and say, it's metal better than carbon fiber. And some people like carbon fiber, but they both can be considered premium materials. Okay, so you have aluminum, the same pattern as the carbon fiber, with Magna Cut steel for half the price of the collector series. And how did Knife Center do that? I don't know. I guess they got the mold, and they didn't have to make a new mold. They used the same mold, and they got the deal on Magna Cut, and they just put it out. So this is an excellent knife. Excellent. And for the price, it's definitely excellent for the price. and it is definitely worth every penny of it. You know, all the high sides to this, you know, having the uh, having the able lock, and having a captured pivot, captured main pivot, made in America. Pocket clip is fantastic. It does its job excellent, and it is reversible. You can put it on the other side, lefties. The able lock is an ambidextrous lock anyway, so the knife is completely ambidextrous. And I actually really like the Tonto on this. It's got a really nice Tonto blade. So yeah, this is a humongous upgrade over both of these. Okay, I mean it really is. For about, actually, let me see the price. Where's the aluminum one? This is even crazier. Actually, I didn't even realize this. So wait, is this possible? I don't want to say it unless, yes, it is. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. This knife is cheaper than this. Okay, so Knife Center. Yeah, listen, I don't normally sit here and plug Knife Center. Okay, I don't really try to plug anybody, but this is $30 cheaper than this. This is a premium knife. I'll tell you that right now. Absolutely, it really is a very well made, and it's half the price. I mean, not half the price of the collector's version. $30 cheaper than this one in aluminum. And actually, how much is it compared to? It's about the same price as the polymer. The cheapest version of it in polymer is about the same price right now. So yeah. Anyway, I just had to put that out there. When I picked this up and got this in the mail, and I was just looking at it going, wow, this thing is really, this is nice. This is nice. So I mean, listen, if you don't like this type of knife or this knife, then I understand. But if you if you know about the K320, 6 Hour K320, I'm jealous. I'm not a 6 Hour fan at all. I'm a Glock fan. I wish Glock made wish they had a Glock knife that looked just like this. That was a comparable. Because this knife is actually the partner to the P320 firearm. So the 6 Hour P320 and the Hogue K 6 Hour K320 are their partnership. Firearm and blade. So anyway, that's all I got. So Knife Center to the rescue. Yeah, they did their thing. All right, take care.